What are those values?
I think the value as a son of Indonesia, we want our people to live a dignified life, and poverty is not dignified. An independent country, their people must live with the basics. They cannot live in poverty.
We'll talk about poverty in a moment.
Yeah.
You mentioned sons of Indonesia, and of course, one son who has really been in focus during this whole campaign is your running mate, Gibran Raka,
Yes.
the country's next vice president. A controversial pick, certainly in the early stages of the campaign. What does he bring to the table, apart from being President Joko Widodo's son?
We cannot take the fact that he's a son of President Jokowi as not an important factor. But Jokowi has 82% favorable rating, right?
Is there a quality that the new vice president will bring to the job? Perhaps his youth might be a positive factor.
I think that's also a very important factor. As you know, I think it's more than 52% of our voters are young.
Yes, more than 63 million between 17 and 30.
Right.
In a three-candidate race, what was the main challenge in getting your message across to those young voters?
I think I had the advantage because, the young, they're more concerned about jobs because that's their future. They're concerned about education, they're concerned about jobs, they're concerned about equal opportunities.
So would you dispute, perhaps there were some criticisms of your campaign that there were some gimmicks with the cartoons and the dances, that it actually wasn't about that, it was about the substance that appealed to young people?
Oh, gimmicks are gimmicks, right? I mean, you can have gimmicks and be a clown, right? You can dance all you want and you become a buffoon, or you become... First, I think, is the message. And the young, in this age of social media, the information revolution, they get on very fast. And I think one thing about the young, they see very fast who is genuine and who is acting. So I think I got the advantage there because,
The promises of your potential policies rather than the style of the campaign.
Yeah, not only promises, they see promises make sense or not, right? Promises make sense, promises solve problems or not. I think that's the...
There was also a criticism made during campaign season, before election day, that perhaps your team had an unfair advantage by means of support from the state, by means of potential misuse of social aid. That was something that your opponents repeated, but also some civil society organizations. Does that affect how you perceive the victory in any way at all?
Well, accusations are easily made, but when the scrutiny is done correctly, intensively, I mean, you will find out that those accusations are very, very empty and very, I would say, very selfish accusations.
So you deny there was any conversation about this use of social aid during the campaign season?
Social aid is there in our budget.
Yes.
For many, many years, right? It was approved by all parties in parliament. So what? And then, can you imagine about this aid, social assistance, right? By the way, outside Indonesia, we have a large community of Indonesians living abroad. Malaysia, Hong Kong, Singapore, the Middle East. And I won by 63%, and there was not one social assistance package sent. And I won by 63%. Right? And all these social assistance were given in all the provinces, and I lost in 2 of them.
Would you be looking to work with the people who opposed you in the election?
I am willing to work with anybody for the good of the country.